Good morning, everyone. For Telesur, I'm Cody Weddle in Caracas, Venezuela. U.S. forces escalate military strikes against the Islamic State. U.S. fighter jets struck targets south of Baghdad, an area previously off limits. The move comes as a U.S.-led coalition was meeting in Paris to discuss military escalation against the group. 40 countries have committed their support. On Monday, France began flying spy missions over Iraq. The British Foreign Ministry Secretary says Britain will play a leading role in combat operations. And at the conference, Russia criticized the exclusion of Iran and Syria from the U.S.-led effort against the Islamic State. Foreign Secretary Sergei Lavrov referred to Western arming of violent rebel groups in Syria as an example of the West's backing of groups accused of terrorist actions.
There cannot be double standards in the war against terrorism. Terrorists can't be good or bad. We must be consistent and not involve our personal political projects, not prioritize them over the general goal of fighting terrorism.
Meanwhile, on Monday, Syrian government forces continued strikes targeting the Islamic State and the al-Qaeda-affiliated al-Nusra Front. Syrian special forces destroyed a bridge that Islamic State was using to transport supplies. The move is part of an effort by the Syrian government to secure the capital from the rebels. Western powers have so far ignored Syrian offers to cooperate against the Islamic State. And to Ukraine, where a NATO military drill is underway in the west of the country. More than 1,000 troops from 15 NATO countries are performing exercises. The drills mark the latest escalation of military support to Ukraine. The country is now threatening to reinstate nuclear weapons. The NATO drill is likely to further fan Russian concerns of the Western military alliance moving even closer to its borders. The U.S. announces it will send 3,000 troops to fight the Ebola outbreak in Liberia. The White House says the troops will monitor the movement of medical personnel and build a clinic to treat health workers, but not civilian Ebola victims. Meanwhile, Cuba plans to send 62 doctors and over 100 nurses to Sierra Leone. The disease has so far claimed the lives of 2,400 people, with the World Health Organization warning 20,000 could be affected. To Venezuela now, where a new video has surfaced revealing a foiled terror plot by extreme right activists. The video shows two youth planning to attack a bridge in Táchira State. That area is a hotbed of opposition activism. The threats include setting fire to shops and discos. They explained they were receiving military training in Bogota and that their military equipment and diplomatic cover had been organized ready for the attacks. The two have been arrested. It is the latest example of right-wing plots against the government of Nicolas Maduro. Earlier this year, a wave of right-wing violence left 42 people dead. And to Bolivia now, where polls show current President Evo Morales is set to win a landslide victory during next month's election. Key to his support has been investment in modernizing the country's infrastructure. Our correspondent in Bolivia, David Doherty, has a closer look at one of those projects.
On Monday, September 15th, the government of President Evo Morales inaugurated the second line of Bolivia's new urban cable car system called Mi Teleférico. The yellow line is the longest of the first three routes of the new public transportation system, which is being touted as a milestone modernization project for the country.
In Bolivia, there is optimism. We are looking up and onward with commitment, and this also requires greater investment in productive issues so that we continue to generate more money and so that this money is returned to the Bolivian people through projects like the Teleférico.
Resources from Bolivia's vast natural gas reserves, nationalized by President Evo Morales upon arriving to office in 2006, have been used to fund a variety of development projects across the country.
Rather than having all the money leave the country, the government is investing it here in our Bolivia and for our Bolivia.
Soaring over the mountainous terrain of Bolivia's administrative capital, the new yellow line connects La Paz to the neighboring city of El Alto. Many people travel from El Alto to work in La Paz, and peak hour commuting times can be expected to be reduced by as much as half.
This is really great for those of us who travel below to La Paz to work. We won't have to wait so long in lines to take the minibuses and get stuck in traffic jams.
The red line of the My cable car system was inaugurated in May of 2014 and has reportedly already transported more than 3 million commuters, tourists, and those looking for stunning views of the highest capital in the world.
Later this year, the Green Line will also be opening up, which will connect with the Yellow Line to expand service to the south side of La Paz. The government has announced that several additional Mi Teleférico lines are in the planning phases. Reporting from La Paz, Bolivia, this is David Doherty with Telesur.
A very useful project. Thanks to David. We end today on a cultural note and an interesting fusion in the culinary world. Celebrity chef Klaus Meyer, co-founder of Denmark's world-famous Noma restaurant, was in La Paz, Bolivia on Monday to celebrate the graduation of 80 young chefs. The group is the first to attend Meyer's school based in some of the poorest areas of Bolivia. Meyer is offering training and preparing dishes with entirely Andean products in an effort to defend local food culture and combat the growing popularity of fast food. Looks delicious. More on those stories and others at our website, telesurtv.net/English. For Telesur English, I'm Cody Weddle. Have a great day. We'll be right back with you in just a few hours.